Students in class were crying and stuff. Like, this was not normal. Growing up, I don't think we ever spoke about sex. In school or at home, I think the only time I actually started talking about sex like it was a normal thing was about a year or two ago. And my parents never had the talk with me. And then, you'd assume that you'd learn it through school, through sex ed. I did in a way, but I also didn't get a typical sex ed class that one would assume. You would expect sex ed to be like they'd teach you about the biology and then they'd go into areas of consent and then pleasure and protection and whatnot, right? I go to this very strict girls' school. We were sexualized since we were like first, second graders, and they kept telling us, don't wear short clothes, don't do this, don't do that. We were existing just to be sexualized, which was really sad, unfortunately. We had this one teacher. She took it up on herself to teach us sex ed. So the class starts and Vanto, she's locked the door, she's shut all the windows as if we're sneakily doing this class. She stands in front of us and she goes like, I am going to teach you guys about this term sex. And now obviously us being the children, we were like, sex. And in my head, sex was like a naked man and a naked woman under the sheets. And I had no idea what happened, but that was my idea of it. Then she starts with who sex should happen between. And she explicitly said, first of all, sex is only and only to be between a man and a woman and no one else. Then she continued to say, the man and the woman must be married to each other, and the only purpose that you should have sex is for children. Then the second half of the sex ed lecture was about after having sex, if you get pregnant, how at any cause you should never ever abort the child. And we're 14-year-old girls just sitting there wondering what is happening. And this teacher is yelling at us, telling us, you will go to hell if you, first of all, have sex with a man who's not your husband. And then if you try to abort the child, you will be sent to the fiery pits of hell. We were like, kya ho raha hai? I mean, what is happening? So we didn't learn a single thing about the biology of sex, about consent, about anything. Students in class were crying and stuff. Like, this was not normal. There was another biology teacher in school who, again, realized what was happening wasn't exactly right. So she took it on herself to do another sex ed class with us. So she taught us what she could, and then she did explain to us a little bit about the condom and about, how our bodies function and stuff. But again, it was too technical for like my brain back then to really understand it. So of course, if you don't get sex ed from school, if your parents don't talk to you about it, the one place we all go to is porn. And I watched porn for the first time in the 10th grade then, and I was extremely scarred. Forget my own body, I didn't even know that men, they come, like semen actually comes out of their body. I had no idea. So when I saw it, I was shocked. I was like, what is this? What is happening? When they did it in a porn video, it just looked so painful to me, and I was like, is this what it is? Sometimes it pains me to say that even as a 19-year-old, I'm still discovering things because no one's taught me, no one's talking about it, no one's explaining how it works to me. And this is not what should have been the case. If you want to watch the previous episode of Dirty Talk, then click here. Also, let me know about your sex ed experiences down in the comments below.